Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. If you've watched videos on this channel before, you'll know that I'm very, very high on the little big men. I love those little guys. And yesterday we had Fernando Martinez making the first defense of the IBF super flyweight title, which he won from Jermin Ancajas. Now, Ancajas was the former champ from the Philippines. He's now 30, I think. And he had a long, long reign before he was deposed by Martinez. I think he made about 9 or 10 successful defences. And he lost earlier this year in February to a unanimous decision to Martinez. It was quite wide on the cards, and I definitely thought Martinez won. And this rematch, which I think Ancajas certainly deserved, it was kind of more of the same. But that's not to say it wasn't without interest, because I made this contest 117, 111 to Martinez, but it didn't seem like it was going to be that type of fight for the first 4 or 5 rounds. The judges had it like 118 to 110 twice, and I think one of them had it 119 to 109. So that all to Martinez. So on paper, it looks like it was a completely dominant performance by Martinez. And it more or less was, but in the early rounds, it was very strange because you've got Ancajas comes out, southpaw. He's a southpaw fighter, and he was skitting around the ring, skipping around, lots and lots of lateral movement, running, yeah, maybe if you like, but Martinez clearly is this, brawling, swarming type of fighter. He looks like he hasn't got a lot of technique. He just chases after you. When he gets close, fires huge winging punches. But Ancajas wasn't making him pay. He was basically trying to stay out of trouble. And that's not to say that he wasn't nitpicking away with the southpaw jab and landing a few half-decent punches. Martinez was getting in close and not really doing anything for the first few rounds. So after 5 rounds, I had Ancajas 3-2 up. But then the tide totally changed, and so did the tactics of the boxers, because I don't know whether it was because Ancajas sort of ran out of steam or thought, I can't keep moving this much for 12 rounds. But in the middle rounds, he began more or less, I don't know, he sort of edged forward more. He was far more stationary. He wasn't using his movement nearly as much. And in fact, he was more inclined to stay on the periphery of the range and in the hope that Martinez would move in and he could clock him. And he was having individual bits of success. Individual punches were landing. But of course, if you're coming close to Martinez, that suits his game. And strangely enough, it wasn't just a case of Martinez, once the guy got up close, swarming all over him without any intelligence. He was actually using his brain more. It was very evident that he was able to look for those individual openings. He was still firing combinations, and yeah, maybe only 2 out of 5 punches would land. But when it came to the individual pot shot and the countering, the individual punch leads, he was having a lot of success and, in a sense, outthinking the guy who you would assume is the better boxer. Very interesting to see how the tactics changed and the tide turned. And from the middle rounds onwards, even though I had, after 5 rounds, I had Ancajas 3-2 up, I gave literally every one of the remaining 7 rounds to Martinez. Yeah, a few of them were kind of close, but I just thought he was doing a bit more. And he wasn't swarming, he wasn't smothering his work at all. He was using his intelligence to pick the right moment when to jump on Ancajas. It wasn't just a case of I'm just going to get close and let the punches go and they land where they land. No. There was some thought going in there against the guy who everyone assumed was the slicker, better boxer, and probably is. But for some reason, the slicker, better boxer got outthought and outfought in the second half of this fight and paid the price. I made it 117, 111, like I say. Good fight. Not a barn burner, but a decent fight. I like watching the little guys because there's always so much tension, and you're going to get your money's worth. And especially on the weekend when, Ben and Eubank was cancelled because of those, the drug thing. It was nice to have a decent bit of world-class boxing. at the lower weight. Again, the IBF super flyweight title's on the line. I don't know if Martinez is going to look for unifications with Chocolatito, or he might do. Jermin Ancajas, 30 years old now, used to be called quite old for a lighter guy, although nowadays you never know. These guys can go on for a lot longer than they used to. As far as Martinez is concerned, he's 31. He's from Argentina, so he's neither of these guys is a spring chicken, but they've got a bit left in the tank. And Martinez is now 15-0, 8 KOs. Unifications, I suppose, is the next logical thing. But it was a decent fight. Go and have a look at it. It was, if you can find it, it was on Showtime. And yeah, worth a look. Worth a look, this fight. So let me know your comments below. What do you think about the result, the scores? What did you think about the way the pendulum swung and the styles changed? I thought that was really interesting, round about in the middle rounds. Yeah, just leave your thoughts below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, please. Just hit the subscribe button. Costs you nothing. Helps the channel out a great deal. And of course, hit the like button if you like the video. As always, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Meanwhile, take care of yourself. Bye for now.